Marcus.
Hi, Tamara.
Newman.
Yes.
Do you love podcasts?
I do love podcasts. I do.
You actually are half of the Commedia Dell Podcast.
Yes, Commedia Dell Podcast. Play on Commedia Dell Parte, our comedy room.
Yeah.
I want to just put Commedia Dell on everything. So I drive a Commedia Dell car, Commedia Dell website. I don't know, everything. It could work.
Tell me about your podcast. How does it go?
Okay, so our podcast is sort of a comedy industry sort of podcast. We interview comedians, whether you've been doing it for a week or well established for years, and it's sort of we're sort of prying into how people started and what their aims and aspirations are. Commedia Dell Podcast, I think, is really for comics, new comics, old comics, whatever. If you want to learn about how to get into the scene, if you want to hear about people first starting out, stories of people going on the road, people have been doing it for a long time, have come in and sat down with us. So it's that real broad sort of section, and we talk about what's going on weekly, who's doing gigs where, who's opening new rooms. So it's kind of an information filter for that stuff as well. So yeah, comics.
Do you have a visual element to your podcast, or you're just straight audio?
I wanted to do a visual element, but I think sometimes if you're not prepared enough, it's quite ambitious. Trying to focus on the audio stuff, make that great, and then you throw a camera in the room and people don't know where to look, and it's almost like you need other people doing that around you as well.
Yeah.
Jimmy Pardo's podcast. It's Jimmy Pardo and another bloke that he does it with every week, and they have a guest in. Then they have 3 dudes filming them every week, and they sell that part online, so they make money off it. But they've got a crew. They've got a crew sitting around doing it. That would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Be fantastic.
I've always said I'd love to sort of see, watch the Dum Dum Club live stream. I reckon that would be hilarious, because you'd just be sort of watching them all be silly.
So you don't do live podcasting?
No, we did one just to sort of, I think everyone's got the ambition to give it a go. And I think we were just a bit green, but it was a great night. It's recorded, it's in our feed, it was fun. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not a comedian like all you guys. People say I'm funny. I don't think they're laughing with me. Yeah. But I don't think I was ready to sort of go out and do it yet.
Yeah. Do you guys edit your podcast at all?
We say we don't, but there is always a small amount.
Do you think podcasts are now essential for the comedy scene?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
and I think it's a good thing. It's if you were a comedian 10 years ago, you had to do a show every year, and you had to go out and do that publicity, do radio morning spots.
So what's your favourite podcast to listen to?
Well, my favourite is probably Keith and the Girl. I've been such a loyal listener for several years. I really like the Nerdist podcast, Chris Hardwick's podcast. I could name so many. Comedy Film Nerds with Graham Elwood, Chris Mancini. They're all sort of American ones. I love the Little Dum Dum Club. I think that's great. I love Green Guide Letters with Steele Saunders. Is fantastic.
But what do you think the future of podcasts are?
Video podcasts seem to be the other thing that doesn't get talked about as much.
Yeah.
I'd kind of like to see maybe that go on a little bit more. So, like we've got it's the radio equivalent of podcasting is the radio equivalent. Like, it'd be nice to have like a TV sort of version. There are certain podcasts that are utilising the technology better. So you can have the audio recording, but you can have different pictures playing on the phone. You can have text, links and stuff like that. I think that would be a bit cooler too. Like, people really, I don't know, if it's an industry podcast and you talk about Louis C.K. or something, maybe a picture of Louis comes up. I don't know how good that would be. I'm just sort of saying, like, maybe using the technology a little bit better.
So where can people find your podcast?
You can go to comediadellpodcast.com. That's the website, and if you click through the links, we've got every one of the back episodes there. Or if you just type in Commedia Dell Podcast in iTunes, you'll be able to download them all there too.